Welcome to another episode of Get to Know. I've got with me today one of our Calvary students, Mr. Carson. How's it going, man?
It's going good. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Thanks so much for being with us. Would you be so kind as to give us an introduction of yourself?
All right. Well, I'm Carson Lavengood. I am 16 and I'm a sophomore at Ashland High School.
Ashland High School. Have you always attended Ashland?
I have.
You have. And for those who may not know, what is the school mascot at Ashland?
It is Airy the Arrow.
Airy the Arrows,
Yep.
because Ashland is the Ashland Arrows.
Yep.
Airy the Arrow. Interesting. Do you know why it's the arrow? I have no idea.
No.
Okay. I didn't know. Maybe they were. Do you have, some schools do this. Does your school have a school, there's a specific name for it, a school song or a school like?
Yeah, we have the alma mater.
That's what it is. Couldn't think of the word. Thank you. Do you know it? I'm not going to have you sing it, but do you know it?
I do know it. We had to sing after every soccer game.
Really?
Yes.
All right. So you're jumping ahead on me here. Every soccer game. So you play soccer.
I do.
How long have you played soccer?
Since I was like 4 or 5, probably.
All right. And preferred position while playing soccer? What position?
Center mid.
Center mid. So you're on both sides of the field at mid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. And so having played for that long, any special accolades or anything worth honorable mentions here for soccer?
I mean, I've won a bunch of tournaments, I guess. And
Gotcha.
That's something to be proud about. I'm a varsity player right now. So
this past season, because you keep track of these things. I get it. I've played soccer. I know. This past season, what was your goal count?
My goal count?
Yep.
All right. So if I'm going to be honest, I was injured for basically this entire last season. So my goal count was 0.
0.
Doesn't happen usually. That's
right.
A first.
All right. So in seasons past, what was your highest season goal count?
Probably my 8th grade year. My 8th grade year, I probably had around 20 maybe that season, that last spring season, 8th grade year.
Gotcha. Good. Well, cool stuff, man. I'm gonna ask you a few more questions in a minute regarding sports, but let me start with this one. How long have you been attending Calvary Baptist Church?
I've been at Calvary for nearly 17 years.
Nearly 17 years. And so I would say to that, you're probably nearly 17 years old.
Yes. I've been coming up in May.
Imagine that. All right. So your whole life, you've been coming to this church. Now, I'm going to be real for a minute. Carson and I have carried this conversation already, so I know somewhat of the answer. But Carson, in visiting some other churches, specifically, I'm going to set this one up. You have told me that you have visited, be it a Catholic church. What have you noticed? And you don't have to say all of them. I'm sure there's going to be a lot. What are some differences between us being a Baptist church and then attending or visiting a Catholic church?
Well, first off, the Catholic Church doesn't use the Bible. That's a big one right there. And they kind of do the same thing every week. It's kind of like repetitive. And
okay.
That's a big one too.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I mean, I have family who attends a Catholic church. So I've been there as well. I have visited. And, I mean, they are just different. It's just our church to their church. It's just different churches. So I understand, and I can totally see the differences there. Have you been to any other churches outside of a Catholic church? Have you visited any other churches at all in your life?
I think I was younger. I slept over with the friends, and we went to a Lutheran maybe, but
okay.
It was just a one-time thing. I wouldn't remember what it was
Gotcha.
like.
So in looking at our church and having been here for nearly 17 years, What would you pinpoint, or what would you say is your favorite part about Calvary Baptist Church?
I think the just everyone being involved is a big thing, and obviously you gotta love the singing. I have a huge singing program. It's amazing, and just everyone is so nice. Say hi to you. It's just a fun place to be around. Good atmosphere.
Cool. Good, man. Almost everybody has alluded to something with our music program and the singing that takes place here. And that's always something to note. So I'm going to pose this question to you since you've mentioned music. Within our church and all of the music that takes place, do you have a favorite song that comes to mind when you think of the music here at the church?
Oh, um, this is an old one, but we sang it in um youth group before. But I really do like My Lighthouse. I like that song.
My
That's
Lighthouse, Ren Collective on that one. It is a fun one. I know even for my own kids, that's one of their favorites. So, well, good, man. Now, shifting gears a bit, I'm going to ask you about some of your hobbies. You have already mentioned soccer. Outside of soccer, do you have any other major hobbies in your life?
I'm big into musical theater. Is a big one.
Musical theater. How long have you been doing that?
I've been doing that for like 4 years, 4 years ish.
All right. And so for the past 4 years, it had involved heavily in that. How many theatrical productions have you been involved in?
Um, Four.
Four. All right.
Yes.
Any major roles in the last 4 years?
Um, and I have had around three major roles. I was in chorus 1 year.
Okay. All right. And how much, as in preparation for those things with school and everything, how much of your time does that take in preparation?
Almost all of it.
Almost all of it. What has been your average your average length of lines, roles? Like how many are we talking here? How long does it take to memorize that?
Well, my 1 year I had over 100. Last year I had around 70 to 80, and then one other year I had like 60 or something like that. So it's a good amount.
Are these now for you? Are these solely acting roles, or are these musicals as well?
Musicals.
All right. So
Yep.
you're up there. You have lines to say and you have songs to sing.
Yes.
All right. What drew you in initially to this?
Well, in middle school, like they were only plays. We didn't have musicals, so I think it's just something fun to try out because friends were trying out for it. But one thing that actually wanted me to do musical was there was a kid um for 5 years ahead of me, and they did Phantom of the Opera when I was in eighth grade, and I watched that, and he was Phantom, and I guess he just made me want to do it.
Got it. Got it. So we've got soccer, we've got theater. Any other hobbies that you have a part of?
I don't I don't think so. I mean, I just like to be active a lot.
Yeah. Well, both of those are very time consuming. So if you had something else, I was going to be surprised. So that's kudos to you for that. With both of those, thinking that through, well, before I go there, would you say you have any hidden talents or secret things maybe somebody doesn't know about you?
Um, I mean,
You don't want to share. They're secret talents. So
well, I'm good at juggling. I found out juggling toilet paper.
juggling, that's a hot commodity right now, man. You can't be
Yep.
just throwing it around, having,
Yeah.
I tell
Found
you,
that found that out.
one thing that I will say, knowing you, is I don't know that it's a talent. It would maybe be a side hobby, but correct me if I'm wrong, you're into a bit of videography, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So what have you done with that, or how did you get into that at all?
So there's this class at the high school called video production, and it's basically teaches you how to edit, how to make videos, how to film, and just like all around, like an all around basis. And I've made short movies, commercial. Um, as a group, we actually made a big movie, a bunch of us, and it was really good. Um, and we've just done a lot of that kind of stuff. We've learned how to do the news. We advertise the news at school every morning.
All right.
It's cool stuff.
Cool. So between video production, theater, and soccer,
Yeah.
and who knows what else is out there, what are your aspirations or dreams for life?
Well, the job that I want to do when I'm older, I want to be a commercial pilot. Is what I want to be when I'm older. And I actually just decided that this year, surprisingly.
All right. So do you think, what are you thinking? Are you thinking national pilot, international piloting? What do you think?
Definitely international. I
You
think.
want to
Basically,
you
that's
want to
why.
see the world.
Yeah.
I get it. All right. Well, cool. So what, if you've given this some thought throughout the course of this last year, what training or what schooling does that involve?
Well, technically, you don't need to go to college to be one, except there are numerous colleges that like can give training or like advice that can help you like get that little edge over people that haven't. But I think I might go to like some airports in like this summer actually. I mean if I can, but with all this corona stuff. But
I get you.
um but yeah, you just see like get some lessons, see how things work so I can start getting into it.
Cool stuff. Now, are there different levels of licensing, pilot licensing? So do you have to just get a general pilot and then work your way up to commercial? What does that look like?
Yeah. So like when you're first starting, you don't get to choose like what locations you want. Like you get just some of the leftovers usually. You don't get to go to some of the fun places. But like once you get up, you can start like scheduling your own and like deciding what you want to do, and you can get your own decide your own hours and stuff. So it's pretty cool once you work your way up.
Yeah, it sounds like it. And then the chance or the opportunity to see the world as well, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, um, here's one. What lesson in your life do you wish you would have learned earlier? What lesson do you wish, looking back, I wish I would have learned this lesson earlier in life?
Um, I wish I would have. I wish I would have just stuck to like some of my like the good friends, instead of like hanging around with the wrong people. And this might not be like really young, but like just in the last like couple years, just like staying with true friends, ones that like care about you, stuff like that. It's a
I
big thing.
got you, man. Yeah, that's a big lesson to learn, no doubt. And I thank you for sharing that with us. I'm going to ask two questions here, and then we'll lead into a couple of favorites. But before we get there, probably the most important questions in these interviews, and that is this: do you know the Lord as your personal Savior?
I do.
Awesome. And I anticipated that would be your answer. So my follow-up question is, when did you get saved? And then tell us a little bit of what that story looked like.
Well, I was really young, so I don't. I some people know like the day and like the time. I don't know that, but I remember a couple things. I remember asking my mom after church one day, and we kind of just went back like into my room, started talking about it, and she actually showed me the Lord that day, and that's basically what I remember from that day. I know I got saved that day. Um, I've like questioned like remembering or not at times, but then I like pray about it and I said, yeah, I know. Like that is for sure like the day I got saved. And that's about what I remember about it.
Awesome. And I appreciate you sharing that story. That
Yeah.
has been, through these interviews, something that has been said time and time again, especially of the young people who were raised and brought up in church for their whole lives. It's almost always, I got saved when I was younger, and then I got to a point where I had some questions or I had some doubts. In your opinion, where do you think some of those doubts and those questions come from?
I think just like just going through life and everyone, I mean, well, not everyone, but I've got off track, you know, and I just start thinking like, wow, like start praying like, wow, am I really saved? Or am I just going through the motions? And then start thinking back, praying with them, and then having that reassurance, I think just helps.
Yeah, it's always nice, even in life in general, when you do something right, humanly speaking, it's always nice just to have that. We don't say reassurance that you're doing. We say the term. It's always nice to get a pat on the back and just to know, hey, you've done the right thing. So, in the moments of having doubt or questions, I totally understand those moments of questioning. So, well, good. I appreciate you taking the time to share. Let me shoot at you a few favorites. Since we're discussing some spiritual things, do you have a favorite Bible story that comes to mind?
Um, well, since I've been young, I've always been a big fan of Samson. You know, like it's always just been just big and strong. When I was younger, I always loved it. I guess I haven't gone away from it. I just love that story.
Yeah, I get it. He's like the Bible version of Superman. And as a little boy, uh, everybody's drawn to that story. So it totally makes sense. What about of all the speakers we've had here at the church and heard at different times, do you have a favorite speaker of, preacher of anybody that we've had?
Um, didn't we have Scully come?
Scott Polly?
Yeah, Polly, yeah,
Yep. No, you're fine.
yeah.
Yeah, Scott Polly.
I really he just drew me in. I don't know, something about it.
Yeah. Good, man. No, he's good. He was one of my college professors. So
Okay.
um, I get it. Same thing happened in those classes. How about this? Do you have a favorite snack that you would go to?
Oh,
Could be something sugary, could be something salty.
I'm not a big sweets guy.
Ooh,
As I know, but I just said I'm not a big sweets guy, but you just can't go wrong with a chocolate chip cookie. Like
mm.
candy. Like I'm not a big candy guy, but like a chocolate chip cookie where it like falls off.
Oh, now you're
Oh,
preaching, man. Now you're preaching. A proper chocolate chip cookie is when you hold it up and it folds over your finger.
yeah.
Mm. I get it. That is, it's like, it's almost my love language. No need. I get it. Totally get it. How about, so you're not a candy fan. What about like candy bars? You don't do candy bars?
I'll do some candy bars.
All right. So your go-to candy bar.
Be like a Snickers or like a Twix.
All right. Here's an interesting question. In playing soccer and playing it for so many years, do you drink carbonated beverages?
I do not.
Mm.
I
But if you
hate
were if you were to pronounce a carbonated beverage, you would say, I don't drink
Coke or Pepsi or pop.
pop. I didn't know if
Pop.
it was pop or soda. I
Oh,
didn't know. Pop. Going for pop. So, and I get it. Having played soccer myself, I don't. Now I'll drink sugary things.
yeah.
Gatorade's got sugar. My go-to is Arnold Palmer, half tea, half lemonade. But even now, years later, don't drink a whole lot of pop. I didn't think you did either.
Gatorade.
You don't do
water. Mm-mm.
Oh, just your go-to is water?
Warm temperature during games.
Like, okay, so you're going to sit down to eat dinner. What are you drinking with dinner?
Oh, milk.
Milk.
Yeah.
All right, good. We're getting somewhere. What's the best milk? We talking blue cap, red cap?
2%.
2%. All right. All right. I'm a whole milk guy. That's
Well, yeah, but like we never buy that. But I would prefer that too.
I get it. I understand. Skim milk. I mean,
that's not even milk.
no, I'm not for it. I'm not for it. 16 years old, soon to be 17. You've got to have one in mind. What's the dream car?
I don't know. I really like Mercedes.
Oh, we're going big.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Good for you. All right.
But like a convertible wouldn't be bad either because I grew up with a convertible. My mom used to have one, so I'd like to have one back.
What if it was like a Volkswagen Bug convertible?
I'd be okay with it.
Still good. All right.
Yep.
All right. I mean, I feel like it's a few steps down from a Mercedes, but that's just me. I got it. All right. All right. Fast food. You're a soccer player. Do you do fast food at all?
Yeah. That is one thing I'll do a little bit. Not a lot, but every once in a while.
What's your go-to fast food restaurant?
It might not be considered fast food, but like Chipotle. I like Chick-fil-A.
Chipotle. I wish we had a Chick-fil-A closer. I would say Chipotle is pretty standard for fast food. I mean, you can take it, go home, eat it, or like now they'll just bring it to your home. All right, you're going to Chipotle. You're standing in line. What are you gonna order?
A bowl
With
okay. Brown rice, steak and chicken, fajita. I don't want to miss anything. Like corn, salsa, lettuce.
Pause. Wait. Stop. What salsa? What choice?
Oh, the like the tomato, like
Okay.
the tomato one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like cheese. Sometimes I'll get guac. Not every time though. Sometimes. And then I think that's it.
Do you add the chips or no chips?
Nah.
No chips. All right. Didn't know. I'm just walking through Chipotle. I'm figuring it out, man.
Oh, I understand.
I get it. All right. Well, there you have it. Well, man, I appreciate you taking the time to do this brief interview and letting people get to know you a little bit better. If you've watched, you've gotten to know Carson a little bit, and but not all the way. So take the time throughout our youth group to get to know Carson a little bit better. Carson, before I close, I always give everybody the opportunity to share one final thought. Some take me up on it, some do not. So I'm going to throw it back over to you and see if you have one final piece of wisdom that you would like to impart to everybody watching.
I would just have to say, don't get too bored over the break, and I hope you guys survive. That'd be my closing line.
There it is, and that's good because boredom definitely is setting in the midst of all of this. But we now have these interviews, and I appreciate Carson you taking the time to do this with us. For all of those watching, thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it, and we will see you on the next episode of Get to Know.